Hello and welcome to another episode of Tech Bites. My name is Andrew and I am so excited to be your host for the first Tech Bite in a while. It's been like a couple months since a Tech Bite, and this is actually sadly the end of an era of our Tech Bites, because starting next month we're going to be switching to a new format, and so I'm so excited that to end it off is the one and only Sargun Walia, who has been the presenter for so many of our awesome sensational cybersecurity presentations for Tech Byte so far. So if this is your first time tuning in to a Tech Bytes episode, this is an interactive opportunity for you to learn some really cool things about technology, in particular with our Sensational Cybersecurity Series, stuff about the world of cybersecurity. So I'm going to now introduce you to our presenter for today, which is a Sargun. So Sargun, wave to the audience. I think they can see you there now. So Sargun is a Master's of Engineering candidate in the Faculty of Engineering in Information Security program, and is currently actually working for a company that folks might have heard of too, right? Sorry, say that again. Just give me 1 second. I need to fix the audio, folks. So give me 1 second, and we will be back with you in just a second once we've sorted the audio issues. Okay, so I think that's working now. So I was saying Sargun is working at a company that you may have heard of, and they couldn't hear what you were saying, Sargun. So where are you working right now for your co-op?
I am working as malware research analyst as at Nokia for fall 2020.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So today is, like I said, it's the last of our sessions for our sensational cybersecurity. Where are we hiding? Oh, yeah, we're still in there. So I think I'm frozen on you right now, but that's okay. This is, oh, there we go. I'm back. And now I'm going to mute the second mic. So this is the last of our Tech Bytes episodes on sensational cybersecurity, and I'm so excited to turn it over to you, Sargun, to finish things off on a high note. So I'm going to go back to your screen, and it's all yours.
Thanks, Andrew. So I hope you can see my screen. Okay. So today we're going to be learning about how we can safely browse online. Online browsing is something we do on a daily basis, and we as students require to go on the internet to gather information about whether about our classes, or to catch up with our friends, or for social media. And so it's really important to know what is bad, what is secure, and what is not. So I am going to be talking about some tips for safe online browsing. Um, so today's agenda will be to learn about cyber safety. That's basically online safe online browsing, and we will be seeing how we can be safe, and what can we do in order to protect ourselves. So why is safe browsing important? So you can think of internet like a really, really busy road where the traffic is coming from all directions, and there's a lot of traffic, and like billions of people
Busy
access
road.
internet every day, but not all of them are good. Some of them may be there to um, some of them may be posing as legitimate people, but they actually may be hackers and spammers. Um, and yeah, so it's really important to know how you can browse safely on the internet. Um, what can happen if you browse unsafely? So there's a thing called identity theft that could happen. A person could be using your name and your information, personal information, without your knowledge. Um, they could delete some important files from your system if they get access to it. And we hear that there have been happening bank frauds, and they get access to your accounts. By they I mean hackers. So that's not very good. So we will be talking about how we can be safe. And this picture here shows that in the education sector happened the most number of cybersecurity incidents. So that is why it's so important for students to know how to safely browse online. So first would be avoid oversharing or sharing personal information. We all have social media accounts these days, so and we tend to use it like on a daily basis. But what we don't realize is that we might be putting like really sensitive information about us out there, which we won't even realize is sensitive until it gets used in some bad way. So the best thing to avoid that from happening would be to first to not overshare your personal information, like um, like your bank card numbers, etc., with people, with strangers, basically, and to keep your privacy settings as friends or only me. That's the best thing. And all these oversharing can lead to identity theft or bank frauds. And whatever you post online stays online. This is a sentence my teachers always use while teaching us. So whatever you post online stays online. This is like a horror thing for me. So yeah. Um, and so we see pop-ups on our when we are browsing online. Pop-ups are like those little thingies which come up, and some of them can be harmless, but some of them will be like really malicious, and they can activate spyware or trackware on your system without your knowledge. So spyware is a software can which will be like present in your system. It will be running in the background, but your antivirus or will not be able to detect that, and it will know all of the things that you're doing. It'll basically act as a spy on your on your system, and you wouldn't even know. So you should always block pop-ups while you're surfing online. The third thing I would say is look for the lock, the HTTPS lock, this symbol, um, because HTTPS basically means that you are secure. What HTTPS does is when you are surfing the web, the HTTPS algorithm, it actually encrypts your data. That whatever the communication is happening between you and the server, it's all encrypted. So the hacker will not be able to understand what is happening, and that's good because sometimes you uh, make payments or you log in to a site and your the cookies use your username, passwords, and your bank card numbers. So that all that data is really sensitive, and with HTTPS it's all encrypted. So we so always look for the lock because it will make sure that the communication which is happening is all encrypted and there is no way that it can leak to the hacker. Um, Fourth would be to use an ad blocker. So whenever we surf online, we see so many ads. They pop up out of somewhere and they can be really annoying. It is the same as pop-ups, but a bit different, and their consequences are the same. They can also activate spyware and trackware on your computer without your knowledge. Um, the fifth point is avoid using public Wi-Fi or untrusted browsers. So whenever we go to Starbucks or Walmart, we see that there's public Wi-Fi available, and we get happy that, oh wow, free Wi-Fi. But you shouldn't use that because 90% of the times it's there's no like it is less secure and there is no HTTPS. You would always see that your browser will try to warn you by saying that your connection is not secure, and you should not use that Wi-Fi um, for surfing online because it is prone to the man in the middle attacks. Man in the middle attacks is basically, so you are surfing, the communication is happening between you and the server, but then the hacker comes in the middle of the conversation between you and the server. So he's attacking you by being the man in the middle, and he is intercepting all of your communication which you are doing with the server, and that's really not good. He will be able to get to know all the cookies and all the sensitive information which we want to protect. So don't use public Wi-Fi. Um, Same is the case with untrusted browsers. You should not use shady browsers or just don't use anything which does not have the log of HTTPS in it. The sixth point is keep your antivirus updated and firewalls active. I think this is the most obvious thing, um, and this is the most effective too. Antivirus will help your um, system from being hacked, and it is the first line of defense against virus removal. And firewalls will basically protect you from any bad traffic which might enter. Um, and these are some more points uh, 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 like by how you can protect yourself. So you should always, like I said before, you should always use secure websites and trusted browsers, but you should also make sure that you are downloading stuff from secure websites because sometimes the illegitimate or like the malicious websites will have sometimes you would be trying to download a software, but if you are not sure of the website which is offering that download, do not download from it. You should check with the other reputable sites first, and then you should do that because that download may give you like a virus, and your whole computer will be infected. And the second point would be keep strong passwords and always keep them secret. Um, like this is like as obvious as the firewall and the antivirus thing. You should always keep strong passwords, and you should never tell it to anybody. Don't write them down in plain text anywhere for anybody to see. Um, Always keep them secret. And So these days we get a lot of phishing emails. Um, phishing is phishing is something which the hackers use to make you lure into stuff. Like they wave good stuff in front of you. Suppose you get an email link saying, "Oh, you won a lottery of $5,000. You click on this link, and it'll be deposited into your account." That's all fake. Don't click on it. Like 99.9% of the times, those are phishing links. So you should not click on those links because um, they can infect your PC without you knowing. Um, and if you want to know how I got to know all this information, you can visit all these websites. They have much more and detail over there. They have many more points and in much more detail on these websites. Um, and yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sargun. Just give me 1 sec. I'm going to make sure that I'm not doubling up on mics. We look like we're good there. And I'm going to make you a little bit bigger so we're sharing the screen. There we go. So we do have a couple of viewers on the stream. So if you've got any questions, now is definitely the time to ask. There we go. Pin that video, and I'm just going to end this standard. Perfect. There we go. So now is the time to ask any of those questions that you might have. But in the meantime, while folks are potentially typing out their questions, what's really the I guess the most common thing that you see now in your co-op experience that you kind of didn't expect that you would be seeing in terms of some of these tips and tricks you would have to be worrying about in an enterprise environment like where you are?
So I have to work with a lot of malware on my daily in my daily work, and the most surprising thing for me is that people click on random things without like thinking. They will not see whether this link is secure or not. Like I said before, that think before you click that email link. um, it's like a habit. You see a link and you'll just click it without even realizing. And so we deal with that malware, and um, I basically write snort rules to detect that kind of bad traffic. And that's what we like see, that there are so many people who are like not who don't who are not like really aware about online browsing, about being safe online, and they just um, yeah, they just click on things without knowing about stuff. So that's the most common thing I see.
Totally. Have you ever clicked on something that you shouldn't have clicked on and had to deal with the outcome?
No, like I like before I knew all this, I definitely did used to do like click on things because as I said, I was like unaware, but thankfully I've not been able like having to deal with the consequences.
That's good. I had
Yeah.
to I actually recently had to do it twice. I had to reset my computer twice because it turns out that I'd done it a couple of times, and I know better. I
Yeah,
absolutely know
exactly.
better. But you see these emails, and they're getting so smart. And what I found really interesting is when I got caught recently, it was somebody's account that got hacked. That was like an official account from the institution, from the organization, and then that sent it through from their account. But when you go and sort of look up this person, it's like, oh, your job doesn't actually have anything to do with this thing. And so you start to go down this spiral of, oh, what did I click? What did I open? So
Yeah.
it's so easy to get caught up. So especially now that we're receiving like 100 emails a day, right?
Exactly, yeah. And it's also like, so on the other day, I got a request on LinkedIn from this person saying, "Oh, I'm hiring for this and this position in the US, and we would just need a couple of um, information, and we would like you to fill all that out in this form." And that
Mm-hmm.
form was infected.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
yeah. they like yeah they're so smart now because any so like right now because of the pandemic so many people have been affected like I see every day that there are so many people who are posting online that we don't have jobs, we're being kicked out and all. So they're just basically taking advantage of the situation. Everyone's desperate to get a job now. So yeah, that's like they basically play you on your emotions.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I have another question. It's not one from the chat, but it's just an interesting one. What are your thoughts on using virtual machines on your device? So, like running a virtual version of, say, Linux or something. So all of the things that you may potentially visit or open are all contained within that environment.
So I have used Linux machines and like on my VM. And the first thing I would say is if your RAM is not like more than 8 GB, don't use it because your computer is gonna die. It's really
Okay.
gonna die. Because I've done that and it's a pain. My laptop kept crashing. And it was just like, yeah. So yeah, that's the RAM thing. And but the VM thing is good because you can click on things like randomly, and even if something bad happens, it will only be contained in the VM and it will not come out of the virtual box. So it, in a way, it's an advantage of using the VM. Um, yeah. Does
Okay.
that answer your question?
Yeah, it definitely does. I was just super
Yeah.
curious on sort of whether you use it or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't look like there's any additional questions in the chat, but I will kind of throw one more out to you before we end off for today. Sandboxing. So using software on your computer that kind of does a similar thing to what that virtual environment does with sandboxing. Is that a thing that you do or that you would recommend for people to like install a sandboxing environment on their computer so that they can browse a little bit safer?
I was not familiar with sandboxing before I started my co-op, but like since I started my co-op, I have been working with sandboxes every day now,
Okay.
so I know a little bit about it. So I totally forgot your question.
No, it's okay. I'm just wondering, like, do you think that it's like a useful thing for, say, just a random person that's wanting to avoid opening things or they're like really nervous about things to install a sandbox on their
Yeah,
computer?
yeah, it's really good. Like I said, that even if that thing is bad and you're not sure about it, about like some attachment or a PDF, which you're really, really curious about and you want to open it, but you know that it might be bad. So if you open it on the sandbox or your VM, it'll, fingers crossed, it will be good. But even if it's bad, the virus will be contained in your VM and it will not get out and it will not spread on your PC. So yeah, it is really like my one of my professors told us to do this, to always have a VM on the system and then um, check out bad things on that. I mean the not so sure things on the VM first, and then if they're safe, then you can do it on your own system.
Awesome. Do you have like would you recommend, so I mean, obviously there's lots of things out there. Do you have any kind of software recommendations for people that are maybe interested in doing that?
So oh, so are you talking about virtual machines?
Either virtual machines or just like sandbox software if you're doing it separately, because I'm not sure sort of how it works where you're doing your co-op. Like sometimes sandboxing is in the VM and sometimes it's like on your machine in like a separate browser. So I'm just curious.
So I would say definitely if you are new to a virtual machine, you should try with Oracle Virtual Machine, and then you can download the Linux image from like the internet, and you can put it on the virtual box, and you can run like more than two I mean more than one virtual machines, because in that virtual box. um, and if you're somebody who is interested in doing penetration testing or just learning about cybersecurity, the Kali Linux would be a good place for you to start. um, and um, yeah, I think, yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Ubuntu is good, yeah.
Okay.
Linux or Ubuntu is good, yeah.
Awesome. I just want to do a shout out for the person who's watching our stream right now. So Lurks, thanks so much for checking out the stream. If you've got any questions, feel free to throw them in. But I'm just gonna jump through some different sort of windows just as like the end to the video like I normally do. So today you have been, oh, whoops, wrong window. There we go. So today's session has been with our amazing, sensational cybersecurity presenter, Sargun, a Masters of Engineering candidate in Information Security here at the University of Victoria. This has been part of our Tech Bytes series, bite-sized tech talks for teens, presented by HighTechU here at the University of Victoria. If you're interested in learning more about HighTechU, you can check out hightechu.ca, which is right down in the corner down there, right there. And otherwise, if you have logged into this stream or you're checking it out here on Twitch and you want to get it into a little bit of a better spot, you can always log into our YouTube. I think I'm gonna put the link. I think it's working. YouTube. Awesome. So the link to our YouTube is there. And I'm going to put our link to our website in the chat as well. So be sure to go and check that out. I'm going to go back to both Sargun and I. There we go. Awesome. So, on behalf of all of us at HighTechU, thank you so much for tuning in. And be sure to stay tuned to all of the HighTechU channels because we've got some exciting stuff coming for you this year. We're totally redoing Tech Bytes, which is going to be really exciting. So, Sargun, thank you so much for a great final last legacy HighTechU Tech Bytes. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their day.
Thank you for having me.
All right, bye-bye.